Cybersecurity in Europe has never been more critical. In 2025, the European Union is facing a wave of digital threats that are larger, faster, and smarter than anything we've seen before. From ransomware attacks that freeze entire industries to AI-powered scams that trick victims in seconds, the European Parliament is making cybersecurity one of its top priorities. So what are the main and emerging threats shaping the EU's digital battlefield? And more importantly, what is being done to fight back? Let's break it down. One of the biggest dangers right now is the rise of attacks against availability, better known as denial of service and distributed denial of service, or DOS and DDoS. These attacks flood networks with traffic until services crash. And they are no longer just the work of small-time hackers. They've become tools of cyber warfare. We've seen them deployed during the war in Ukraine and in the Middle East, disrupting access to critical services, from government sites to news outlets. These attacks are cheap to launch, but devastating in their impact. Another major threat is ransomware. Across Europe, industries like manufacturing, retail, and health services have been hit hard by criminal groups that lock systems and demand payments. These attacks aren't just technical problems. They bring production lines to a halt, cost millions in downtime, and erode public trust in essential services. And ransomware groups are constantly evolving, using new techniques to stay one step ahead of defenses. Data itself is also under fire. In an age where data is the fuel of artificial intelligence, it has become a prime target. Attackers steal sensitive information for espionage, for blackmail, or simply to sell on the dark web. And sometimes the data isn't stolen intentionally. It leaks because of poor protections, weak cloud security, or even through manipulated AI chatbots that can be tricked into spilling secrets. Data breaches are no longer rare, they're routine. Then there's social engineering, the human factor. Phishing emails, text scams known as smishing, phone calls called vishing, and even malicious QR codes, quishing, are all on the rise. These attacks work because they exploit trust. And with AI generating flawless, personalized messages, it's harder than ever to spot what's fake. A well-timed email or text can compromise an entire organization. Traditional malware is evolving as well. We're seeing more sophisticated viruses, worms, and spyware targeting banking apps, smartphones, and business networks. One worrying trend in 2023 and 2024 was the explosion of information stealers, malware designed specifically to grab login credentials and financial data. Hackers no longer need to break in, they just let the malware do the dirty work. So why are these attacks happening? Experts at the EU Agency for Cybersecurity, ENISA, point to four main motivations: financial gain, espionage, destruction, and geopolitics. Some attackers want money, others want intelligence, some want to create chaos, and some are state-sponsored, using cyber weapons to gain leverage in global conflicts. The good news is that Europe is not standing still. In response to these threats, the European Parliament has passed a series of powerful laws designed to strengthen defenses across the Union. The NIS2 Directive is one of the most important. It expands cybersecurity obligations to more sectors than ever before: energy, health, transport, digital infrastructure, and even postal services. It sets clear rules for reporting incidents, forces companies to adopt better risk management, and ensures accountability across all member states. Then there's the Cyber Resilience Act. This law requires mandatory security measures for connected hardware and software sold in Europe. That means stronger protections built in by design, automatic updates, and accountability for manufacturers when vulnerabilities put users at risk. The Digital Operational Resilience Act, known as DORA, focuses on financial systems. Banks, insurers, and trading firms must now prove they can withstand and recover from ICT-related disruptions. In a world where financial systems are prime targets, this act is designed to keep the backbone of Europe's economy secure. Together, these legislative moves show that Europe is building a harmonized cybersecurity shield. Instead of a patchwork of national rules, the EU is creating one framework that raises the bar for everyone. The message is clear. Cyber threats are no longer abstract risks. They're here, they're growing, and they're shaping geopolitics, business, and daily life. Defending against them takes more than firewalls and antivirus software. It takes regulation, resilience, and readiness. So where does this leave businesses and individuals? It means security has to be seen as a shared responsibility. Companies must invest in compliance and cyber hygiene. Citizens must learn to spot phishing, protect their devices, and think critically before clicking a link. And policymakers must keep evolving laws to keep pace with attackers. The future of Europe's security isn't just about borders and armies anymore. It's about bytes, networks, and code. And in 2025, the battle for cybersecurity is every bit as important as the battle for physical safety. That's why the European Parliament is acting now, and why staying informed, vigilant, and prepared is no longer optional. In the digital age, it's essential.